Alright guys, welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. Today I'm doing my meat chick move. It's all coming into some pretty good timing. Number one, I dropped off 500 pounds of feed over here, and if we take a look in here, you can see that's almost gone. The other barrel's completely empty. This one's just about done. There is some feed still in here, but the thing is, they're growing pretty rapidly and they're ready for a new home. If you see, they are a little more congested than I would want them to be. So they're going out of this old quail barn today, and we will get them into the mini barn. But the mini barn is not ready for them yet. So I'll explain a couple things on my way over there. Number one, the mini barn was put up as a structure just to keep hay up top, have an area for the kids to play, and then also to provide some shelter for the animals. It serves that purpose without being finished just fine. You can see monster truck here is already getting some boards ready for the battens over there. He just kind of takes them off the driest pile, shoves them through the fence, then we'll come on this side of the fence and we'll bring them through the rest of the way. So because I had a working structure back in this pasture, I didn't progress with that. Instead, I built things like my little goat house, built other projects, worked on different stuff. So the sheep are back here right now. Yeah. And we're mostly feeding them hay while we build up some pastures, let some of the stuff in them get a life cycle and go to seed. But here's the mini barn. There will be a lean-to off the right side and a lean-to off the back side eventually. It'll be a bigger structure. And I'm also going to add some extra cedars on the inside, kind of attach the existing supports. It's got a lean-to over there. We had zinnia out here. So my goal right now is to make something that can keep the meat chicks in and the predators out. For the most part, it could work as is if I just kind of cover that hole, put a door on it, and made something to cover this, because raccoons would come in through there. But I'm going to batten this side. I think that's actually going to be a lean-to eventually, so I might leave it for breathability. And this actually might be, I got to figure it out. But I at least know that the front side here is going to get some battens, and I do know that I got to fill in some blanks there and build a door. And I want to keep an opening above there for putting hay up. So I'll probably have some sort of, fold down door, whatever it may be. But we found that out in the functionality. I just happened to have a hay size hole under that window, and that worked really well. So monster truck's getting some resources ready. I'm getting some stuff ready. I think just lean them through that fence there, and then they'll be there. That size is perfect. If you can find ones like that, that will do very well for our project. It's a really good width for a batten, because all a batten does is kind of cover these spaces. And you can run these tight and then let them kind of separate a little bit if you're working with green lumber, and put your battens over and it'll be fine. But if you space them out a little bit and use bigger boards for your batten, what you find is you use less boards. If you use less boards, then you save on the lumber. So that's where I'm at here. And yeah, you know what? I'm wondering about this side, because I am going to put a lean-to off here. Maybe I do just leave it as is. I'll figure some things out, but we got to get those guys moving. It is time. So I'll show you how we progress. And I got an interesting idea for the door. We'll see if it works, because I don't always know ahead of time. So as I attach my boards, I'm going to be using just over 2-inch screws. I prefer screwing solid oak as opposed to nailing. If you've ever tried nailing solid oak, you'll know why. If you can afford it, screws may be more desirable. Now, we were working on each side of a fence here, so monster truck's been running the stuff over there, and I was taking the boards we needed off the pile. That was the oldest one. I got it a while ago, so it's been drying for a time. But what I like to do is I shove them through the fence like this. So they're all coming through different holes. He can just walk right up, grab a board, slide it through, and then go take it over there. Makes it kind of easy because they're all off the ground. They're all ready to be grabbed, and yeah, it's rather accessible. So that's how we like to do that. And then when he brings them over here, you'll notice as well that he's propping them up. What this does is, number one, it keeps the boards spread out so they're not all in a pile. As I'm gauging different widths for some of these battens and how they need to be, it gives me a better look at each board. And then also I don't have to bend over to the ground because they're all up off the ground. So just a couple things that we found work pretty good for us. You know, my right-armed man is what, a 7-year-old? You know, my right-hand man's a 7-year-old right now. So we got to find good ways to work together, and I tell him even now, you know, he's pretty much doing a man's job. There's nothing more I can do with carrying boards than he pretty much does. So yeah, let's get these up first, and then we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do is run a baseboard. The reason I like running a baseboard is if you look at an old wood building, it's normally that right at the bottom where it starts deteriorating. So if I run a baseboard, none of the other boards need to reach all the way to the ground. So this is the one that's going to be exposed to the elements. This is the one that's going to be rotting. And this is the one I can just replace in a couple years rather than having the bottom of every single board be junked up. Thought of that some time ago, so I'm going to run about an 8-inch baseboard on the bottom of each side of this front. I'm going to make it pretty much level, cut the bottom of my boards flush, and then run them up from there. And yeah, I think it'll work all right. So we got a little bit done. Baseboard there, and those there are also put in. Sheep are curious. They're munching on some different leaves and stuff out in the forest. Hey, Dodge. But some of this too is without really having a distinct plan ahead of time. Kind of make it up as you go, see what's going to work, and that's part of what I'm doing right now. So I'm looking into it, and we'll see. I think I might frame the windows and then run the battens. Maybe try it that way. So as the blessings of life would have it, I now have 2 helpers out here. This guy comes out, he right away starts grabbing handfuls of screws to keep me moving, and now he's carrying boards. And he's 3. And he's picking up scraps and putting them in our gorilla cart, and he's hard at work all the time. And he doesn't stop for nothing. Right, Bugger? You big helping boy? So I'll show you a little bit of where we're at right now. He's bringing those over. Monster truck's getting some more lumber. Almost got that window framed in. Got the top of that where I want it, and I'm about to finish framing in that window. Now we'll run the rest of the battens on the front, and that'll be pretty secure. I think this side might be good, but we'll put battens on the back, and I'll work on my door and my cover. Hey, where's that sneaky guy going? What's he doing? Bugger! He knows all sorts of stuff, don't you, son? Alright, just be careful. Because we don't want no hurt workers, right? Nope. You can't be no help if you get hurt. Plus, it's not good anyway. Thanks, son. So, got the windows framed into this point. This side won't take too much more effort. It's just precise measuring now. But this side will be pretty secure then. Looks pretty good. Happy with the turnout, and made a couple determinations along the way. So you got to kind of, like I say, if you don't start off with a plan, you got to kind of figure some things out, make a couple judgment calls, and go from there. And then I'm looking forward as well to seeing how this door idea is going to work. So hopefully we get there before too long. I'm going to do this, then I'm going to move to the back side, then I'm going to do the door, then I'm going to do the top. Just a ladder hole. And that should be that. Well, the right side face is done. Gotta work on the left side now. Got all my big boards on. I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little ones at the bottom and top, and probably 1 runner on the edge. And this will be done. And then we'll see if I work on the door next or hit the back. Technically, I could leave the back for now, but I can't leave the door open for now, so I may do the door. That might be next. And I gotta check a couple things up top too, 'cause I think there's a couple of sneaky holes raccoons could get through if I don't do anything about it. But we're making progress, and like I said, this was acceptable for a long time. It was functional, but it's been on my to-do list, so then when it has another purpose, like the meat chicks now, that just helps me prioritize it and get it up on the to-do list a little quicker. So I like that. I'll figure out my measurements there and then go, but you can see here it's just a lot of tedious kind of finish work, because you got to measure each of those spaces on the top above the window, each of those ones below, that type of stuff. Eventually this wood will all age, you know, it'll all be aged, but I might burn it too, so we'll see. So the front is now complete. I did put a board across the top of there to kind of close off the top of the battens, and now it's the time where I get to evaluate from above. So you run into things like right here, see that? A raccoon could run through there. Same thing on each edge of the floor, we have an opening, so that could be death from above for our meat chickens. And then of course behind the ladder, same thing, plus the door I'll need to put there. And then over here above dirty face bugger, let me see your dirty face. Oh yeah, what were you eating?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Then we also have the same thing here. So I'll finish that part of the floor up top, and this part in the front here. But I think what I'm gonna need to do right now, I think I'm gonna close that part there, right there, and then do the door, because then I can make it through the night if I just close in those other couple parts. Sometimes in the homestead, the most permanent, you know, thing that you wind up with is your temporary fix. No such thing as permanent as a temporary fix. So I want to make sure, whoa, gorilla cart. I want to make sure to do it right. Okay. Those meat chicks are going to get over here today, Geertz.
Today?
Today. I'm going to do the door now, and I'm going to close those things off, and they'll be good to go. And I'll work on the battens from later, but I need you guys to get me the secret thing. Go get it. Gotta find more. I don't have enough. Right, Bugger? We need more secret thing. Where'd you go? There you are. Were you laying eggs over there in the corner?
No. Look at that, and that golf ball here.
Oh, you're tossing golf balls there. Okay.
That one.
So I've now taken an extra board, cut that to length to bring that out flush here. And then I'm going to bring one flush from here to there. And then I may run one across this whole thing. And the reason is I have a specific door I've had planned for over a year now. I thought of it one day, spent some time discussing it with others, and I think I'm ready to finally make it. But I got to make sure I got all the resources. I'm just going to build what I need to for this door and then see if we can make her work. So one thing about when I build doors is a lot of times I build them in place, kind of build them to fit. This one here is running up underneath there, down to about the ground level. But what I did is I affixed a board. It's got a notch out of it, that's why it changes width. But from here, all the way to the other side behind Pinky there. And this board is just a fake board, it's just here for no reason. When I get done, I can unscrew these from that board, and I can unscrew the board from here, and it'll just drop out the back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my door in place. So I'm going to get my runners, these guys going up, and then I'll put a couple braces across it and build my door that way. And then I'm actually going to have some stuff where it goes up here as well. There will be no hinges on this door, and maybe I'll get into that in another video. I got about 20 minutes till sunset. Of course, it does stay light longer than that, so I'll be working a bit into the night. I still have those two sides to seal up in the corner over there, and that whole side over there. Yeah, that won't take very long. I'm not sure if I'm doing that from above or below. If I do it from above, it just brings out the floor to the edge, which is probably the way to go, especially with kids up there. And the kids fed beets to the sheep, so some of the sheep got a little pink. Is this the other one? No. The other one ran away. And now they're just enjoying their hay. Right? Yeah, you're just enjoying your hay. Soon you're going to have company back here. There's going to be meat chickens. Do you know that? Do you understand that? Sheep? I don't think she gets it. So, I'll be working on that into the night.
It looks nice.
Thank you,
Some
child.
boards are gray and some boards are brown.
Yeah, that kind of gives it a distinctive look. Which, if we wanted to, sometime we could, like, you know, stain some of them dark and then put the battens up a different color or different things like that too, but... Alright. Well, I decided not to do any after work, or after dark work. Came out here, sun's just rising now. Been up for a little bit. But I have barely any time before work. So I'm gonna do what I can quickly here, and then this will probably be a to be continued. Although I'd rather have it done right now. But options are limited. So here we go. Well, at least I got some more stuff done on the door. It should be done before too long. And we'll go from there. Don't climb out that way, child. Okay. Alright, love you guys. We'll see you next time. This will be it for this one, I think, because I gotta run to work. I gotta go to the post office. Mail out like 20 Etsy orders and a pile of the new book that's about to be released to the general public. Stay tuned for that.